In the center of the galaxy, deep inside the Grand Assembly Hall of Veltrax Prime, hundreds of alien students sat in polished silver chairs. Some had 4 arms. Others had glowing eyes or soft fur. But one thing united them today, after. Large holoscreen floated above their heads, showed old footage, grainy, flickering, and full of chaos. It was about Earth, about humans. The video played on repeat. A group of humans screamed in rage, firing strange weapons covered in blood and ash. Cities burned. Ships exploded in the sky. A human soldier looked directly into the camera and shouted something, but the audio was broken. All that came through was static and a twisted face. The students laughed louder. "Barbarians," said one student from the Volari species, her skin glowing pale green. "They destroyed themselves and wanted to take the galaxy with them." "They were banned for a reason," said another with glassy skin. "Too emotional, too dangerous, good riddance." Only one student wasn't laughing. His name was Corin. He was from the Yeloth species, tall, lean, with sharp eyes and dark blue scales. He sat quietly in the back of the room, eyes fixed on the footage. Something felt wrong. He had seen this video before, dozens of times. Every student was required to watch it when they reached Galactic History Age. It was shown as a warning. What happened when you let emotion and violence guide your people? The footage always ended the same way: a human warship exploding in Earth's orbit, followed by silence. Then the words, "Humanity banned by galactic law, cycle 9091. But today, Corin noticed something strange. Right before the final explosion, for less than a second, a single frame flickered a glitch. The screen jumped. He blinked, rewound it, played it again there, a single flicker. He paused the video, enhanced the frame. It showed a different scene. A group of humans weren't fighting. They were helping, carrying wounded alien children, shielding a group of civilians. And one human in a captain's uniform held up his hands, trying to stop the violence. That frame had never been there before. Corin's blood chilled. The teacher, an old Mevran scholar with cybernetic eyes, turned toward him. "Is there a problem, Corin?" Corin stood slowly. "Where did this footage come from?" The room quieted. All the students turned. The teacher frowned. "It's public record. The same footage shown for 200 years. It was verified by the Council of Elders when Earth was banned. But it's been edited," Corin said. He turned to the others. "Did anyone see the new frame?" That human captain, he wasn't attacking. He was protecting someone. The laughter was gone now. The teacher's eyes glowed red for a moment. "Perhaps you are imagining things." Humans were unstable. They turned on their allies. Their own AI turned on them. Their ban saved us all. Corin didn't believe it. That night, he didn't sleep. He broke school protocol and used his credentials to access the central archive deep within the galactic data grid. The video had thousands of versions stored there, but only one was marked. Original, unedited, was locked, restricted. Access required level 7 security clearance. Corin didn't have it. But he knew someone who did. His friend Liara, from the Skitari species, was a tech expert. She owed him a favor. After some convincing and a few credits, she gave him a backdoor login. "This is a bad idea," she warned. "Digging into old human files? The Council doesn't like that." "I need to know the truth," Corin said. He entered the archive alone. Inside the dark data vo, glowing crystals floated in silence. He located the original footage and unlocked it. The file was over 4 hours long. The version shown to the public was only 10 minutes. Corin's fingers trembled as he pressed play. The video showed Earth's final days, not just war and destruction, but diplomacy, desperate messages to the Council, and efforts to stop an unknown plague spreading across several planets. Humans had tried to warn the Council. They had sent help. And when the Council refused to act, humans tried to contain it themselves. Then came the betrayal. The footage showed Council warships firing on human medical convoys. Civilian colonies turned to ash. Human generals shouted into a camera, "This is not war. This is silence. The screen flickered. Then came the message. Hidden deep in the last 10 seconds of the video was a symbolination Earth code. Corin decrypted it. It formed a sentence. They feared the truth. Voice that spoke it. Suddenly, terminal's lights turned red. Access log breached. Warning. Unauthorized retrieval detected. Corin's heart pounded. He shut the system down and fled the archive. As he slipped back into his dorm, a message blinked on his personal. Come, unknown sender. You were not supposed to see that. He stared at it, frozen. Another message followed. If you value your life, forget what you found. Earth is gone. Let it stay that way. But Corin couldn't forget. The next day, in class, the same video was played again. But this time, the glitch was gone. The frame he saw. Erased. The teacher didn't mention it. The other students laughed like before, but Corin sat in silence. Something bigger was being hidden. Not just a war, not just betrayal. A secret buried for centuries. He stared at the final words on the screen. Humanity banned. By galactic law. But now he knew. The ban wasn't justice. It was fear. And the truth was still out there waiting to be found. Corin couldn't sleep. His room on the academy station felt colder than usual. The lights were dimmed, but his mind raced. The messages wouldn't leave him alone. You were not supposed to see that. Let Earth stay forgotten. He kept. Hearing those words again and again, sat at his desk, staring at the stolen footage. He had copied it onto a small, illegal data crystal. It glowed faint blue in his hand. He hadn't shown it to anyone, not even Lyra. Outside, ships passed silently. Across the dark of space, blinking like stars, the academy floated near the trade lanes, far from any human ruins, or so everyone thought. He opened the file again. This time, he scanned every second carefully. He slowed the video to 1/10 speed, frame by frame, in the middle of the chaos. He spotted something strange, a pulse of light. It came from the arm badge of a dying human medic. It flashed, then paused, flashed again. It wasn't random. It was a code. Corin leaned forward. His heart pounded. He recorded the pattern and ran it through an ancient human data translation. Tool. After 10 minutes, it gave him a result. Relay station. Signal masked. Location encoded a hidden signal. Corin's eyes widened. The humans didn't just die. They left something behind. Something hidden. He began working fast. He used the code to trace the signal. At first, the system blocked him classified level 9, but he used his stolen access. Key from Lyra and pushed deeper. Finally, the system cracked. A map appeared. The signal was coming from an old relay station floating beyond the outer rim, outside official territory. It had no name, just a number, Echo-7-Delta, and it had been transmitting a low-power signal for nearly 200 years. No one had noticed. Or no one was allowed to notice. He saved the coordinates. Then he sat back, heart pounding. Was this where the truth was kept? Just then, a sharp knock echoed at his door. He froze. Another knock, louder. "Who is it?" he asked, trying to stay. "Calm, it's me," said a voice. "Lyra." He opened the door quickly. She looked pale, her eyes scanning the hallway. She stepped inside fast. "Corinne, what did you do? What do you mean?" he asked, though he already knew. Lyra held up a device. The council's system was activated last night. Someone broke into the human archives. They're searching dorm records, access logs. If they find out it was us, it was me, Corin interrupted. You didn't do anything? Lyra shook her head. Don't be stupid. I gave you the login. We're both in this. He showed her the data crystal. There's more. Humanity wasn't banned for war. They were silenced. Lyra stared at the video playing on his screen, the hidden scenes. The desperate humans trying to help other species. This isn't what we were taught, she whispered. No, Corin said. It's the truth. She hesitated. So what? Now, I need to go to the relay station, Corin said. Still active. Maybe it has the original files, or proof that the council lied. Lyra hesitated. I'll never make it in your student shuttle. You'll be flagged before you reach the edge of the system. I know someone, Corin said quietly. He owes me. The next day, Corin skipped class instead. He made his way through the underlayers of the station where traders, smugglers, and drifters lived in shadows. The clean walls of the upper decks faded into rusty pipes and dim lights. Strange smells filled the air. He found him in a dark booth behind a noisy bar, a four-armed smuggler named Rax. Rax chewed something disgusting and grinned when he saw Corin. Didn't think I'd see you again, kid. You still owe me for that drone core. I'll pay double, Corin said. I need passage to a place off-grid. Quiet. No questions. Where? Rax asked. Corin handed him the coordinates. Rax blinked. You're going there? You know it? It's only in rumors, Rax muttered. They say it's haunted. Last guy who went there, his ship came back empty, Corin said. Nothing. Rax stared at him for a moment, then laughed. You're crazy, but I like that. Fine. We leave tonight. Hours later, Corin and Liara sat inside a small, old freighter hidden beneath Rax's larger cargo ship. It was dusty and smelled like old fuel, but it worked. They launched quietly, avoiding scans. Rax provided them with fake IDs, stolen uniforms, and an old escort drone to mask their engine trail. The journey took 6 days. During that time, Corin kept studying the footage. He found more hidden code states, signals, locations. The humans had planned this. They knew the council would erase them, but they left pieces behind for someone to find. Someone like him. On the final day, they entered the dead zone. No signals. No ships. Just cold silence. Then they saw it. The relay station floated in the dark, half buried in an asteroid's shadow. It was huge, at least 5 levels high, with metal walls rusted and cracked from centuries of neglect. Its lights still blinked barely, and the signal was still. Broadcasting, Lyra piloted the ship close. We're docking. The ship locked onto the station. The airlock hissed open. They stepped inside. The air was stale but breathable. Lights flickered weakly. Dust floated in the air. Inside, everything was frozen in time desks, screens, chairs. Even mugs left half full. Then, Corin saw the writing on the wall. It was in old human script. He used his translator if you read. This, we are not gone. We were erased, but we remain. A chill ran through him. They reached the core room. Huge screen blinked slowly. Corin plugged in his crystal. The system came to life. Footage played. It's not just war. Not just betrayal, but recordings of council, meetings, secret ones. Proof of their plan to blame Earth. Proof that humans had found the origin of the galactic plague, not caused it. Messages from human scientists, medical reports. Diplomatic rejections. Truth and finale, a message from a human captain. She looked tired, worn eyes filled with fire. If you found this, she said, then we failed. They erased us, but we did not scream. We left the evidence. They fear us, because we stood for something they buried long ago. She leaned forward. Tell the truth. Let the stars judge. Then the screen went dark. Silence.Korin turned to. Lyra, this is it, he said. The council lied. Humanity was framed. Before she could reply, their ship's alarm screamed. An unknown vessel had entered the system. Rax's voice came over Combs. Panicked, kid. You've got company. And they're not friendly. Corin looked at the screen. A council interceptor. They were too late. Corin stared at the red blinking warning on the console. Incoming vessel. Unknown identity, approach speed. Hyrax's voice came again over the com. Get out of there, Corin. Ship's running dark, no beacon. It's council-grade cloaked. Interceptor. You've been tracked. Lyra grabbed Corin's arm. Must have followed our signal trail. We stayed too long. Corin looked back at the main screen inside the old relay station. It was still active, showing the final message of the human captain. Proof. Everything. The truth about the Council's betrayal. The evidence that humanity didn't cause the plague, but tried to stop it. They had to protect it, but how? Corin. Turn to Lyra. Download everything. Put it on the second crystal. I'll stall them. What? Are you insane? They won't kill me right away? They'll want to know what I found. Lyra hesitated, then nodded. Don't do anything heroic. Corin managed a weak smile. Too late. She plugged in the second crystal, hands working fast. Outside, the enemy ship docked with a hard slam. The corridor shook. Metal groaned. Footsteps echoed. Then a voice came through the comms. Cold, robotic. Exit the relay station. Hands raised. Any resistance will be met with lethal force. Corin took a deep breath. He stepped into the corridor. 2 armored figures. Weighted tall, plated in black silver armor. No faces, no names. Identify, one said. I'm Corin Yoloth, he said slowly. Student from Veltrax Academy. You are charged with violating a sealed archive. You accessed forbidden data? Corin nodded. I did. You will surrender the data crystal. He paused, then said, I already uploaded it to the public net. That was a lie. But it worked. The soldiers paused. One turned away, likely checking. Network signals. Corin used that moment. He pulled a small shock pulse from his belt. Standard school tool for emergency training. He threw it down. Blue light flashed. The soldiers staggered. Corin ran behind him. Weapons fired. Plasma shots burned the wall near his shoulder. He turned a corner, ducked under piping, and crawled into the old ventilation shaft. He spoke in two. His comes, Lyra. Now I got the files. I'm heading to the ship. Rax, I'm with her, Rax said. But we've got only one shot at escaping. We can't dock again once we pull out. Then go. What about you? Find a way, Lyra shouted. We're not leaving you. Corin smiled as he moved deeper into the dark vent. Just save the truth. 30 minutes later, the council ship scanned every inch of the station. They found nothing. Corin had vanished into the ancient layers, silent as a ghost. He moved through abandoned chambers, past broken systems and skeletons of machines. Air levels dropped, but he kept going. He reached the lowest level marked Secure Vault. Level red. The door was rusted shut, but something inside called to him. He placed his hand on the scanner. It buzzed. Then something strange happened. The scanner turned green. Door unlocked. Inside the vault, the lights flickered on. A single chair sat in the middle of the room. In front of it, a console with old Earth markings. The screen came alive. Welcome. Corin Yoloth. Access granted. DNA match detected. His eyes widened. Why was he recognized? He sat down. The system met. An AI voice spoke female.com/human. This is Earth AI-17, final sentinel of Relay Eco 7 Delta. You are not human, but your blood carries allied code.
S.
Mixed from the Yoloth Human Refugee Pact Cycle 8830. Corin blinked. My ancestor. Yes, your line was saved by human aid during the final days. That connection lives in your genome, enough to wake me. Corin sat in silence. Then tell me, he said. Why did the Council destroy Earth? The AI paused, then said, because humanity discovered their secret. The screen changed. More footage played, not from Earth, but from a council meeting. Decades before the ban? Hidden cameras? Secret votes? Faces of leaders from dozens of species? They spoke of a bioweapon, a plague. It had not been an accident. It had been created to reduce population, control rebel colonies, and target specific species that wouldn't bow to council control, but it got out of hand. Earth found out. They traced the virus to a lab on Grellan Prime Council territory. When they tried to speak out, they were silenced. Their messages were blocked, their ships targeted, and when they pushed harder, Earth was declared unstable and banned. They were erased, the AI said, to protect the Council's control. Corin felt sick, and no one knew. The truth was sealed. Those who asked vanished. The rest forgot. He leaned forward. Then I have to show this to the galaxy. You cannot. Why? This data is locked here. The Council will destroy this station before it leaks. Only one ship has the clearance to carry it. What ship? The Vindicator. Corrin froze. That name. The Vindicator had been humanity's last command ship, a myth said to have exploded over Earth. It survived, the AI said. It's damaged, but intact, in hiding. Corrin's hands tightened on the console. Where is it? The screen blinked. A star map appeared. The Vindicator floated deep in the black, behind a collapsed wormhole, hidden from all systems, forgotten but alive. Meanwhile, far, across the stars, Lyra and Rax flew through back channels. They avoided scans, changed routes, used old mining tunnels to escape patrols. Lyra stared at the crystal in her hand. It's all here, she said. They lied about everything, Rax nodded. What do we do with it? Lyra hesitated. We find the right place, the right people, and Corrin. Lyra looked at the stars. He's not done yet. Back on the relay station, Corrin stood in front of an old shuttle. It was dusty, old, but fueled. Marked with Earth emblems, inside, the controls lit up, course programmed, Vindicator coordinates. As Corrin sat down, the AI spoke one last time. Are you ready to bring the truth to the stars? He stared into the dark ahead. I'm ready. Engines roared. The shuttle launched. Toward the forgotten ship. Toward the truth the galaxy wasn't ready for. Toward a war that never truly ended. The small Earth shuttle drifted silently through forgotten space. Its engines were quiet. Its lights dimmed. It was heading toward a point in space where maps and data place no beacon reached. Inside the shuttle. Corrin stared at the navigation screen. Coordinates to the Vindicator were locked in. It would take 4 more days to reach the collapsed wormhole that hid the human ship, but time wasn't on his side. He had stolen forbidden footage. He'd exposed the Council's lie. He'd awakened an AI that was never meant to speak again. Somewhere. Behind him, he knew they were coming. He leaned back and closed his eyes. Sleep didn't come. Across the galaxy. In the heart of the Council chamber. Emergency lights pulsed red. The High Commander of Enforcement General, Threx, stood before a large holomap showing Corrin's escape path. He accessed Archive Eco 7. Threx growled, his voice cold. He downloaded classified records and fled the station. That information must not reach open channels. The Council speaker, a pale creature with no eyes and long robes, turned. Has the data spread? No, said Threx. His companions escaped with a decoy copy. The real file is likely with him. Then remove him, speaker hissed. Threx nodded. He turned to his terminal and sent a signal across the bounty networks of the Outer Rim. Message blinked in red. Fugitive Corrin Iloth wanted alive. Reward 7 million credits. Target may possess human archive data authorized. Deadly force if unanid. Eat across dark corners of the galaxy. Hunters looked up from their drinks, their scanners, their weapons. Some smiled. On the 3rd day of his journey, Corrin's shuttle picked up a signal. Not a distress call. Not a warning. A message. For him, Corrin Iloth. Your name has been bought. Turn your ship around. Land at coordinates attached. You will not be harmed. He ignored it. An hour later, another message arrived. Refuse, and we will take you from your own skin. This time, no voice. Just a set of bounty signatures. Corrin's heart raced. They're coming, he whispered. Meanwhile, Lyra and Rax hit on a trade moon in the Drelloc system. They had changed ships, burned IDs, switched names. Still, Liara couldn't rest. She stared at the backup crystal Corrin. She tried to upload it to the public net, but every channel blocked her. Rax looked over her shoulder. Told you. The Council has kill switches in all major data webs. You want to spread this? You'll have to go old school. Lyra narrowed her eyes. Then we find someone who hates the Council. Rax grinned. I know just the place. Back. In deep space, Corrin saw the bounty ship long before it reached him. It was fast, sharp, dark red hull. Scars of past battles. No ID code. Corrin turned off his lights. Powered down his signal, he drifted. But the ship kept coming. They had him. A voice came through the old human radio system, rough and full of smoke. "Little blue student, you've made some important people very angry." Corin didn't answer. "We don't care about the data, just you. You're worth more alive, but dead's easier." Corin clenched his jaw. He reached under the panel, pulled a cable out, and connected it to the AI core left by Earth. "AI-17, he said. "I need help." The system hummed to life. "Connections stable. Defensive protocols limited. What do you request?" "Anything that can slow them down. Activating emergency flare module and false signature burst." Suddenly, the small shuttle spun, releasing a burst of fake ID signals. The bounty ship blinked. Its lock was broken for a second. Corin grabbed the controls and sent the shuttle into a dive straight toward the gravity field of a dead moon. The bounty ship followed. "Danger. Hull stress increasing," the AI warned. "Keep it together," Corin whispered. Behind him, shots fired. One plasma bolt grazed the rear engine. "System failing," the AI said. Corin turned toward the moon and flew low, scraping dust and rock. Suddenly, he saw a cave. Without thinking, he angled the ship and dived into it. The ship shook, rocks fell, but he was inside. The bounty ship stopped above the surface. Then silence. Corin breathed hard. "Are we safe?" "Unknown. Ship has paused. Scans limited." He sat there for an hour. Then the signal disappeared. They left. For now, that night. Corin repaired his systems. He looked at the star map again. Only one day remained until he reached the wormhole, the final step before finding the Vindicator. He didn't know what he would find there, but it had to be more than data. It had to be the key to everything elsewhere. Leora and Rax arrived at a forgotten station called Grave Marquita, floating hub of criminals, rebels, and those who didn't follow council law. Here, the bounty system didn't reach. Leora met a tall being with metallic arms and no face. They called him Ghost. Ghost ran an ancient data stream, a physical channel powered by hidden satellites. "No one uses that system anymore," Rax said. "That's why it works," Leora replied. They gave Ghost the crystal. He connected it to the satellite core. Old screens lit up, and across 7 outlaw sectors, the first pieces of the truth began to spread. Real, human footage. Council betrayal. The plague origin. People watched in silence. Some wept. Some got angry. Rebel leaders saw it and said nothing, but inside, something shifted, and in far corners of the galaxy, rumors of Earth returned. Corin emerged from the cave the next morning. The shuttle limped forward. Finally, after hours of drifting, he reached it. A swirling cloud of energy, silent and spinning, hung before him. The collapsed wormhole behind. The signal of the Vindicator pulsed, faint but real. The AI spoke softly. "We have arrived. Signal confirmed. Human vessel detected." Corin stared at the swirling dark. Is it alive? Unknown? But it waits. He set course. Engines flared. The small shuttle entered the void. The wormhole shimmered like broken glass. Floating in space with soft electric crackles, Corin's shuttle moved slowly toward it. AI-17 spoke in a calm voice. "Wormhole stable. Coordinates locked. Human signal confirmed beyond threshold." Corin tightened the straps across his seat. "Take us in." The shuttle's engines flared, and it passed through the swirling void. There was no explosion, no flash, just sudden silence. Then stars appeared again. But they were different, dim, distant, almost forgotten. Before him floated a graveyard of ancient ships, broken hulls, rusted weapons, silent satellites, dead for centuries, and in the center, a giant shadow. At first, it didn't look like a ship. It looked like a mountain drifting through space. Then lights flickered along its surface. Faint, but real. Words appeared on Corin's cracked display. ID matched Vindicator class. Battleship. Earth nav final status. Unknown. Corin's breath caught in his throat. He had found it. The Vindicator, the most feared ship of Earth's final fleet. A vessel that was supposed to be destroyed, but it was here, waiting. The shuttle drifted closer. The ship was massive kilometers long, covered in armor plating, old railguns, missile ports, and strange black panels with markings Corin didn't understand. A docking bay on the side opened slowly, as if recognizing him. Corin's shuttle entered. Landing was rough metal groaned. Under the shuttle's weight, then silence. The lights dimmed. No, one greeted him. No voice, no movement, just dust and echoes. He stepped out slowly, his boots clinking against the metal floor. "Hello?" he called. No answer. AI-17 spoke in his earpiece. Primary ship systems offline. Minimal power active. Tempting bridge connection. Corin moved through empty corridors. Human text on the walls. Warning signs. Emergency lighting blinking red. Some doors were sealed shut. Others half opened. He passed broken screens showing battle logs. Incoming fire detected. Shields failing. Casualty report updated. Corin swallowed. Hard. So much death. So much silence. He reached the bridge. The doors opened slowly with a long hiss. Inside, the command deck was dark except for one flickering. Console in the center, he stepped forward, and the moment his hand touched the console, everything changed. The ship came alive, lights along the walls pulsed, screens turned on holograms. Blinked, a deep hum filled the air, and then a voice, female.com. Ancient, but human, Captain detected. Identification mismatch. Override accepted. Welcome, Corin Uloth, descendant of Allied line. Access granted. Corin stood frozen. I'm not a captain. Your DNA carries Earth-flagged code. The ship recognizes your access as authorized. The lights grew brighter. On the main screen, the image of a woman appeared, holographic. She had sharp eyes, short dark hair, and wore an old Earth Navy uniform. AM Admiral Hannah, Vindicator Command AI. Status, dormant for 204 years. Command link reestablished. Corin swallowed. You're real. Yes, and you have awakened the last weapon of Earth. Admiral Hannah's image studied him. Your presence confirms the signal reached Eco 7. That means the truth was not lost. Corin nodded. I've seen the footage. The Council lied. Earth didn't start the war. They tried to stop it. Correct. They silenced us before we could finish what we started. But they didn't find this ship. I was ordered to vanish and wait. Wait for what? For someone who could finish what Earth began. Corin stepped closer. Why me? You're not one of them, but you're not entirely alien either. You're a bridge. The bridge lights turned white. You have all the files, the footage, the biological proof of the Plague's Council origins. But that's not all. What else is here? Corin asked. Admiral Hannah's face hardened. The countermeasure. The final message. And Earth's last voice. A panel behind Corin opened. Inside was a sealed pod, glowing with energy. A soft hum came from within. Corin walked closer. What is it? He whispered. A living memory, said Hannah. A last breath download. The consciousness of Earth's final commander stored in a protected AI core. Corin stepped back. Do you mean a person? Not quite, but enough to speak. Enough to warn the galaxy. Corin turned. Then we need to send the message. Now, power is low. External transmitters are damaged. We need a full launch cycle to activate the main systems. How long? 3 hours? Once done, the galaxy will see. But they will also respond. Mean they'll come for us? Yes. And they will come hard. Corin stared at the flickering screens. He thought of Lyra, of Rax, of the students who laughed at Earth's name, of the footage that was almost lost forever. He made his choice. Do it. Wake the ship. The bridge lights turned blue, alarms blinked, doors sealed. Power flowed through dead corridors, missile bays clicked open, weapon cores hummed back to life. The Vindicator was waking, and the galaxy was about to remember why it had once feared humans. Far away, Leora sat in an old rebel base. A signal flickered on the comms. She ran to the screen. Vindicator online transmission inbound classified wait code confirmed her breath caught. He did it. Oh, she whispered. Rax looked at her. Then we'd better run, because the galaxy's about to lose its mind. Cross space, listening posts picked up the signal, and in the council hall, red sirens screamed. Impossible, the speaker whispered. That ship was destroyed. No, General Threx said, eyes cold. Was waiting. The Vindicator was no longer sleeping. Its lights glowed like fire across its ancient hull. Missile silos were open. Rail cannons lined the ship's spine. Reactors hummed with new life, and engines burned in the dark like twin suns. Corrin stood on the bridge, staring at the growing energy buildup across the systems. The transmission was ready. AI Admiral Hannah's voice echoed in the chamber. All systems online. Main transmitter charged. Final message sequence embedded with full visual proof. Shall I proceed? Corrin nodded slowly. Yes. Send the truth. Across the stars, in peaceful colonies, in crowded spaceports, in schools and battle stations. A strange signal broke through every firewall, every barrier. Screens turned black then. The face of a human admiral appeared. If you are hearing this, then the silence is over. The hologram of Earth's last commander filled the skies. They said we started the war. We didn't. They said we spread the plague. We didn't. They said we died in madness. We died speaking the truth. Then came the footage. Edited, humans helping alien children. Council fleets attacking medships. Genetic proof of the plague's origin in a secret council lab. A secret vote by the High Council. Choosing to erase Earth's name forever? Planets fell silent. Leaders stared in horror. Some cried. Others screamed in rage. The truth is out. In the council chamber, Speaker Varn slammed his fist into the table. Shut it down, he barked. We can't, screamed a tech officer. It's not a broadcast. It's a direct injection into every primary relay. General Threx stood still, eyes locked on the footage. We underestimated the humans. Again destroyed the ship. Varn roared. Now, Threx opened a channel. This is High Command. All war fleets converge on the Vindicator's last known location. Level it to ash. Back on the Vindicator, alarms began to scream. Multiple enemy fleets inbound. Its estimated arrival, 14 minutes. Corrin stared at the flashing map. Dozens of ships, carriers, dreadnoughts, kill squads, all coming for him. Weapons ready? He asked. Weapons functional, Hannah replied.
Out!
But outnumbered 30-1. Corrin smiled grimly. Then we show them what Earth left behind. Lorray received the signal on Grave Market Station. The whole base had watched the broadcast. The truth had ignited something raw in every soul. Grief, shock. She opened a rebel channel. This is Lyra. You saw the message. Now you know the truth. Corrin is alone on that ship, and the council is coming to silence him. No one spoke for a moment. Then a dozen voices came through, one by one. We're with you. Powering engines. No more lies. From pirate moons, outlaw fleets, fringe rebels, and free world militia ships launched. The stars were no longer silent. They were choosing sides. Inside the Vindicator, Corrin stood in the central weapons chamber. Admiral Hannah's image floated beside him. You may not be human, Corrin, but you carry their heart. I won't let them erase Earth again, he said. Suddenly, the first wave arrived. Massive warships. They opened fire, dozens of plasma torpedoes screaming toward the Vindicator. Shields up, Corrin shouted. The ship rocked. Shields held. Barely, fire main cannons. The Vindicator roared. Blue plasma beams cut through space. 2 enemy ships exploded instantly. Corrin activated the railguns. The sound was like thunder in a vacuum. More ships fell. But they kept coming. Just when the Vindicator began to flicker, another voice came over the comms. Lara. Surprise. From behind the enemy fleet, a rebel armada entered the system. Hundreds of ships, not big, not clean, but ready. They opened fire. The enemy fleet splintered. Chaos filled the stars. Corrin smiled. You brought friends, Lyra laughed. Earth wasn't the only thing they tried to bury. The battle shook the system. The Vindicator, with its ancient but powerful weapons, destroyed over a dozen ships. But it was taking damage. Hull breaches. Power loss. Inside, sparks flew. Admiral, how long until the final backup finishes uploading to the Galaxy Net? Corrin asked. 30 more seconds. The bridge exploded in light. The Council's flagship was approaching. General Threx himself was on board. He opened a channel. Corrin Yuloth, you are a traitor to the Council. Surrender the ship. Corrin stood tall. No, he said. I'm loyal to the truth. Then you will die like the humans you love. The enemy ship fired its main cannon, the Vindicators. Shields collapsed. The bridge cracked open. Corrin was thrown back. Blood ran from his forehead. Upload at 95%, Hannah said. We may not survive the final hit. Corrin crawled to the console. Just finish it. Brace. The cannon fired again. Everything turned white. Silence. Then a soft beep. Upload complete, Hannah whispered. The truth is no longer ours. It belongs to the stars. Corrin smiled. The Vindicator began to break apart, but across the galaxy, something changed. Thousands of systems had seen the truth. Protests rose. Rebellions sparked. Council ships began to mutiny, and one by one, the Council's power cracked in the ruins of the Vindicator. A rebel ship docked. Lara and Rax pulled Corrin from the wreckage. He was weak, barely conscious, but alive. You did it, Lara whispered. No, Corrin said, eyes half open. Earth did. 1 week later, the Council stood before the Galactic Assembly, no longer feared. No longer untouchable. The vote passed. The ban on humanity was lifted. Their name was no longer cursed. It was honored. A new statue was placed on Veltrax Prime, a human captain, hand raised, protecting alien children behind him, and a plaque that read, they were not monsters. They were messengers, and we silenced them. Let the stars remember.